Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Franchise Empire newsletter. Kevin, what's up, man?
What's going on?
I feel like Kevin just asked. I have a heating pad on my neck because I tweaked my neck, and I'm still like, when you tweak it, and you're like moving your body like this to like because you can't like turn it all the way. So if I'm like awkwardly turning, that's why.
I'm just glad somebody else is as old as I am these days and can tweak things, but you have a legitimate excuse. You did a Spartan race. I can tweak it getting out of bed. So
Oh, I've had plenty of mornings of just waking up and like, what happened? I think everyone knows that feeling of sleeping the wrong way, and you wake up and you're like, what? What? No matter the age.
yeah.
Sweet. Well, let's share the screen today. We are going to show a bunch of different things, but let's see. Share screen. Looks like we already got 3 people. Hello, everyone from whatever universe you're in. Drop us a comment, by the way. Let us know where you're tuning in from. That'd be cool, just to get an idea. But so today, we're going to talk about a turnkey franchise resale with the owners that are retiring. We're going to talk about a medical franchise that shows $430,000 in profit for the top 25% of owners. Look, things may be a little bit clickbaity, but we once you get here, we disclose the whole shebang, right? So we do have to get your attention. That is important. But once you get here, we're going to show you the numbers and all the when people are like, what's the catch, right? So you'll get all that, which is good. What I hate is when people just give you the pure clickbait and they never give you the even like the what's the catch. You're like, come on, dude, there's got to be something there, We'll talk about a client who tried to start their own business and then came back to franchising. That's James, Kevin. And then on the Franchise Empire show, we had a CEO built $1 million business. So these are what we're going to dive into today. And if you're watching live, let us know what city, what state. That would be awesome. If you're watching the replay, drop us a comment. Let us know that you're watching the replay. We send out these newsletter emails every Sunday morning at, I believe, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So if you'd like, you could go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter, and it's completely free to get these newsletters in your inbox on Sunday mornings. You can read it in privacy. Don't have to necessarily watch this unless you want to. My mic just like dropped and so anyways, you can go there and register for free. Hello. Oh, it only shows this LinkedIn user. It says good morning. So I can't see who you are or what your name is. Once I log into LinkedIn, I will be able to. But thank you for saying good morning. That must mean you're on Pacific Standard Time or a different time zone because it's 1:08 where I am, 12:08 where Kevin is. All right. So real quick, this is my message at the top of the newsletter, which if this is your first time watching this, I always like to drop a little bit of a message, which is about 9 years ago, basically, to make a long story short, I had a buddy who built a company that at the time was doing $5 million a year in sales. He wound up building it up to like 13 million a year in sales. Oh, Evan, what's up, man? I just met Evan in Boca this weekend.
I got to talk to Evan. I'm considering Boca to move there, Evan. So I want to get your take on it. Anyways.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, Evan. So you'll need to add Kevin as well, and I'll make sure to go on LinkedIn and tag you in here. But so at the time, my buddy was doing $5 million a year in sales in his business that he started, and he said to me that I was still working as a financial advisor at that time, and he said, with your skill sets, you should be making at least $1 million a year, and never mind how I felt after he said that, but it was after that conversation that I decided to pursue franchising and like really did a deep dive, and a lot of him saying that and his belief in me is what triggered me being like, yeah, no, I need to be like, I can be successful in business. Like And it was his. Kevin, have you ever had a time where someone believed in you more than you believed in yourself in regards to something? We're like, oh no, you can definitely do it. In your head, you were like, I don't know, but for whatever reason, their like belief and confidence in you like boosted you up a little bit. You ever have that?
Yeah, I was thinking about some, yeah, but yes.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me, and that's what triggered then looking into franchising, starting the franchise, and obviously wouldn't be here now. So the whole more of the story is to surround yourself around people who see your greatness, right? Put yourself around people who speak life into your vision and goals. Because as you do anything in life, you're going to have people, haters, doubters, but a lot of the times you're going to have, especially family members, they want you to stay safe and comfortable and in your bubble. And they don't want you to get too far ahead of them too. A lot of the times it's not even conscious. So naturally people are going to be like, "Oh, don't do that. That's too risky." What? You're going to leave your job? You have such a great job. I mean, I remember having this conversation a few times with my dad, my pops, in some different riskier moves that I was taking in my career, leaving great opportunities. But it was just like, no, I'm going to bet on myself. So the point is, as you go to embark on starting your business, growing your business, just making leaps and changes in your life, you've got to put yourself around people that are already ahead of you and that believe in you, because it's like that. You ever heard that analogy with the bucket of crabs? And as you're clawing out, they'll try to pull you down. Yeah, I'm gonna tune in next week. I'm gonna read the story, and I'm gonna tell it in a more in a good delivery.
We should have
Anyway.
record attendance for that newsletter.
Yes, sir. All right, so tell us about this resale, Kevin.
No, I like that message though, Tarek. I mean, it is true. And it's like you just I remember talking to somebody and he was a successful business owner. He's like, you can do it. And even if you don't on this first business, like even if you fail, you're gonna do another one really quickly because you'll realize like that you can do it and be successful. Like you have what it takes. And that resonated with me too. He's like, and it was just like, okay, even if it does fail, whatever, you just do another one. But in that moment, I was in corporate America, rising through the ranks, and I had quit to start like a non-franchise business so that my wife and I were trying to figure out on the fly. So it was a much different experience, but I'm still glad we did it. But anyways, yeah, let's talk about this resale. So the other thing I want to mention about resales, and I know like people might think we're full of shit, sometimes they're not, but like I was just on a call this morning with a franchisor who reached out to me because he watches this and he's like, hey, it seems like you guys help your clients with resales, which is cool. I wanted to run a few by you that are not on the market that I know I've just met with owners and they want to sell. And one was in San Antonio, one was in Iowa City, and one was in Florida somewhere, I think. I don't remember for sure. I wrote it down. But I thought that was pretty cool because these are really good opportunities. One of them was like, doing 1.9 million in revenue in a reoccurring revenue model. And so that's a very attractive opportunity. We're working with clients in that city. And so I'm going to reach out after this and get that in front of them. But anyways, I just think it's like a testament. Like we're really trying to find those hidden opportunities, and it is kind of a manual process sometimes to do that. And it is kind of like who you know. So that's how we do it. And it's not a perfect science, but we try our best to find resale opportunities for you guys. So,
Dude, that's huge.
yeah.
That's crazy. Just so you guys know, number one, in the franchise broker consulting world, I don't know, maybe 2% of the industry will actually show you or talk about resales.
Mhm.
Most franchise brokers, and this is not to talk badly about anyone. There's a lot of great professionals out there in the franchise broker and consulting world, but most of them just they don't know how resales work. They don't even really know it's a thing. They don't understand them. So they don't show it. They don't talk about it. This is a key part of what we talk about. Whether you buy a resale or not, it is what it is. Obviously, you're limited to the inventory that's out there, but it's definitely one of the things that makes us different. Um, I think, than a lot of folks out there. And this is not the first time, Kevin, that you have gotten access to resales that weren't publicly available on the market for our clients.
Mhm. For sure. I mean, yeah, we have somebody that's gonna submit a bid on one in Houston, and it's with a closet company that's has one of the better numbers than any home improvement franchise, you know, and that one did not hit the open market either. So definitely happens. Like, I'm not saying it's a guarantee. And like I always, when we talk to people, when they book these resale calls, I'll tell them like, I don't know for sure if we're going to be able to find something for you now, but what I can guarantee is like, we'll stay on it. And maybe 3 months from now, we find the perfect fit for you. So, um, but yeah, anyways, I'm encouraged by that. I think that's going to just help our clients even more. But let's talk about this particular one. So this one is called Shelf Genie. I think we've talked about it before, but they do like customized storage solutions. So like think of like kitchens, pantries, you know, even bathrooms, garages, anything you can think of where you need your home more organized. They offer customized solutions for those. So a Neighborly brand, Neighborly is a huge player in franchising, ton of home improvement franchises under their umbrella, pretty well established. They have around 227 franchise units throughout the US. So this one is in Norwalk, Connecticut. Pretty sure this is a very like high end, high income market slash territory. It's close to New York. I think there's a lot of wealth in this area. So this one's been around since 2009. Owners are retiring, I believe. The asking price is 445,000, and it does include a vehicle and some equipment. So I wouldn't say, you know, to be honest with you, I don't think Shelf Genie is like the one you're going to build to a multi-million-dollar business. I don't really know if it has that capability. I think you can make a nice, like if you acquired more territories, you could build it into something bigger. But like, you know, I don't know if there's like a cap on the like growth opportunity for this type of business, but I do think the margins are pretty good because the average ticket price is around $4,600 per job, and each job usually takes 1 to 2 days to complete, depending on the size. So it's a very quick turnaround um, on those projects, and you order like all of the parts or whatever, like the different, you know, cabinets or slide out shelves from their preferred suppliers, and Neighborly gets a really good discount on those materials. So I think your margins are pretty good in this one. They do have a really good retention rate among their owners, 97% over the last 3 years, which is really, really high. That's encouraging. And I think this one, if you want something in home services, that's probably netting the owner a good amount of money and opportunity to grow even more. This could be a good fit. I'd want to really know exactly what the territory includes, how many, because I didn't really get that information, to be honest. But you know, that would be something to understand how big the territory is. Are there opportunities to acquire more territories around it if you really wanted to scale it? So I'll leave it at that. Initial thoughts, Tarek. I think you're on mute. Well, I think you're on mute.
I muted myself on the thing.
That's okay.
Let's see. So yeah, I was just saying that owners retiring is always an interesting reason for a sale for me. I think it shows that there's potentially some opportunity for growth there. What I find is sometimes people that have been in the business for a long time and are older, they may or may not be adopting and utilizing all of the technologies or really being aggressive with the growth of the business. So I think your consensus is spot on. I mean, with an asking price of 445, I mean, the business probably isn't breaking the bank in terms of what it's producing, but I don't know. There's some folks out there. I've definitely over the years talked to many folks who are like, if I could just replace my income, I'm cool. I don't need to get rich with anything. I'm not trying to make millions of dollars. You know, maybe they make like 100 grand a year and they're like, I just want to make 100 grand a year through my own business. You know, I just want to make the money through me. That's not to say that we're not saying this business is making 100 grand a year, right? We have all our disclosures there. So that's not any sort of earnings claim or anything like that. All we know is that the asking price is 445. And then as we inquire about it, we'll be able to get more details. But Yeah, I mean, Neighborly is a super solid brand. So I think for someone who wants to just step into something that's rocking and rolling and have the opportunity to build it up, looks cool.
Yeah. And it is also one you don't have like a ton of employees. So like to your point, like somebody that just wants a certain type of business where, I on the surface I have assumptions on what this is netting based on the asking price, but I mean, it could be a great business, especially like a low stress business where there's not a ton of employees. And then you could, if you wanted to build it, you could always do that and then add another neighborly brand in the future.
Yeah, because at this sort of volume, they probably have one salesperson and one installer. And at this size, it's often the case that the owner is doing one of those things.
Mhm.
Usually this the sales. So something pretty simple overall. But all right, y'all. Well, if you man, Rahman, that was smooth. I didn't even say it yet, and you popped the banner up there. Um, for those of you who want to inquire about this specific resale, or you want to see what resales are available in your area, then you can go to franchiseempire.com/resales, and you'll be able to set up a quick call with Kevin or the team for free to be able to see what's available in your area. Kevin, I think you're frozen. Oh, you're back. You're back. Perfect timing. All right, so we're gonna hit a client case study real quick, and then we'll pivot to talking about that medical franchise that shows 430 grand in profit. But this is James, and James is actually one of my very first clients over like 3.5 years ago when I was just doing business coaching before like starting this business, which was interesting. And he was starting his own business from scratch and pursued that for a while, and then came back, I don't know, I think like a year or so later, a year, 18 months later, and said, "Hey, yeah, I wanna do the franchising thing. I wanna go the route of a proven system." Was just having trouble just figuring out everything from scratch, especially with how busy he is. He sells medical equipment and like actually goes into surgeries with doctors while they're doing them to advise on how to utilize the equipment. So, anyways, he joined the system and then wound up working with Kevin and team. And so what happened, what wound up happening with James?
Yeah. So I'm thrown off by the title because if I'm thinking of, is it a coaching brand or is it the medical consulting company? Or am I?
Uh, So yeah, it's an older testimonial. So this was he had initially launched
Oh,
a coaching business that was his own startup.
okay. My bad.
And then after a year of trying to do that, 18 months of trying to do that, he was like, "All right, screw this whole starting from scratch thing. It's like very difficult." And then he came back and he was like, "Hey man, I want to buy a franchise."
Okay. I was like, am I losing my mind here? 'Cause, okay. So
Well,
yeah,
you probably are, but that's unrelated.
yeah, that's a whole different. Okay, so yeah, James, awesome dude. He had really good background in terms of like experience in the medical industry, medical device sales. Had a lot of connections in that community, and I was like, have you ever thought of just doing something on your own in that space? And he was very interested. So we found him a business that's called Medical Staffing Consultants. It's basically where he does staffing for like different hospitals, different doctor clinics in your area. It's basically like a nurse recruiting slash doctor recruiting company, and then you get paid, temporary and permanent placement fees from the actual businesses. So it ended up being a great fit for him because he had a ton of connections in that industry already. He could kind of hit the ground running, and it kept utilizing his sales skills. So that business is definitely not for everybody. If you don't have either experience and or sales background, it's not a good fit for you. But as we presented a number of different options in a variety of industries, he decided this one was the best path for him.
Boom. Boom. Happy to help James. That was just super exciting to see that come full circle. All right, we're going to talk about the franchise of the week. Before we do, by the way, um, and we're going to dive into this. Kevin will explain it. For those of you, one of the common challenges that we hear from people are that, you know, not only number one, I'm not fully sure, should I buy a franchise? Is it the right path for me? It's hard for them to really fully understand it until they have just a deeper understanding of how it works. How do you make money? What are the different options out there? What are the margins with some of the options? How much money are some of these things making? How do you get them funded? What are the ratios that I need to look for with franchises, et cetera? So, because of that, I created what's called our Franchise Buyers Academy. Our Franchise Buyers Academy has everything that you need to know to figure out, number one, if franchising is the path that you should go. Number two, how you actually make money owning a franchise, like what opportunities are out there, and just how you go about diagnosing that process. So if you want to get access to our Franchise Buyers Academy, you can do that at franchiseempire.com/FBA. This is like the hot thing right now where people are flocking to Franchise Buyers Academy right now. It's pretty cool to see. We're getting incredible just testimonials and reviews from people going, wow, this has been a game changer. So you should definitely go check it out. It'll answer a lot of your questions, and it's a one-stop shop. You don't have to scour the internet anymore or even watch hours and hours of, my videos online. It's just all condensed in one place in order. But with that said, let's talk about this chiropractic franchise, Kevin.
Yeah, so 100% chiropractic. It pretty clear what it does. It's a chiropractic clinic, but they also offer some other services, which I'll touch on in a minute. But they started in Colorado Springs in 2004, and then they started franchising in 2015. It's ran by a husband wife. So they have 5 corporate-owned territories in that Denver, Colorado Springs area, and then they have around 90 franchise units now. So there is the investment to get into this business is between around 350 to 580, depending on the size of like the real estate and the amount of renovations needed. But from what I understand, I think it's only like 1,500 square feet is needed. So you can get in like a pretty regular strip mall and renovate it out to their needs. So this one, the reason we like it is it's not just chiropractic, but they also do massage therapy. They do like that cupping and stretching. They sell supplements. There's a lot of different revenue streams. And then the other thing is they're pretty active and hands-on with local marketing from the franchisor level. So they've really excelled and figured that out in their Denver market, and then have trickled that down to different locations. So they do a lot of like social media marketing, pay-per-click advertising. They're very good at acquiring customers. So I forget the number of customers they say that they can acquire on a monthly basis, but it's pretty impressive. So it's kind of nice because this is a reoccurring revenue business. You get somebody that comes in for chiropractic care. Usually you're coming in once or twice a month. And then you can add on other services like the massage therapy. They will help you hire that first chiropractor that's going to basically be your hold your license for your clinic. And then, that person's going to manage all the chiropractic care. And then you can actually subcontract with massage therapists if you didn't want to like have a full-time W-2 employee. So kind of an interesting thing. People are intimidated about the health space if they don't have a medical background, which is understandable for sure. I kind of relate it to like if you started an HVAC company and you didn't have an HVAC license, right? There's like HVAC technicians that are just never going to be good business owners, but they're really good at practicing their craft, and that's what they want to do. They want to, be in a good culture and be paid competitively. It's the same with chiropractors. There's a lot of chiropractors that just aren't good business people. They just want to practice their craft and focus on their patient care and not manage everything else in the business. And that's kind of your role as the business owner and 100% chiropractic, and you let the chiropractor do their thing. So that is something to think of. Again, they're going to help you find that chiropractor and get any licensing requirements you need. So this one, if you look at the financials, I like how much they break it down in their item 19. If we scroll down a little bit here. So yeah, you can see total clinics average of about 817,000. The max is 1.69. So pretty good numbers. And then they also disclose like profit and loss here. So if you scroll down even more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so top quartile, like Tarek was mentioning at the start of the call, their average net profit, according to this, is 432,000, which is kind of crazy. Um, so really healthy margins if you're in the top quartile. Obviously the bottom two quartiles are not doing great, but still, even then, the third quartile isn't terrible, I would say. But I'd be curious to know from their perspective, like what percentage of your revenue comes from chiropractic care versus like massage therapy versus the other services. But I'm guessing their main income is through the chiropractic care. So yeah, this one's interesting. I like this one quite a bit. It is something that they claim you can do semi-passively because the chiropractor will manage a lot of aspects of the day-to-day stuff, and you can manage like the high level KPIs. I'd want to learn more about what that would look like if you were trying to do it semi-passively, but yeah, I don't know. Like I know Carista, she goes to a chiropractor like once a week. So there's people that just like swear by this. So I don't think it's something that's going away anytime soon. What are your thoughts on this, Tark? Are you familiar with this one or no?
Vaguely, I think we had someone way back in the day who looked at this, and so I think this would be one that you just have to make sure that you do really good due diligence on because it's complex with the laws and which we noted. You guys noted in here about the different states have different requirements on how the entity has to be owned by like a licensed practitioner or not.
Hmm.
So I think it's definitely one to do the due diligence on overall, but from just an opportunity overall, like I go twice a week. Now the place that I go is more they call themselves like a body healing place, but it's owned and run by a chiropractor. And talk about cupping, like literally, I don't know if you can see the marks. Can you
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So literally this morning I was there. They were helping me with my neck and that area. So I'm literally there twice a week. It's just a part of my schedule now. And as I get older and keep competing in Spartan races and trying to play basketball, um, I like I've had a bulging disc before, so I have to do these things in order to be able to keep operating physically. So pain management it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem and it's a huge opportunity. A lot of people suffer from pain, overall. So, I think it's potentially an interesting opportunity. Again, you just want to make sure that you do your due diligence, which is something that we help with, right? So, and just, even though we bring up these opportunities, like, you still have to do your homework. Like, just so you know, and, like, 1, not everything is great for your personal skill set. Not everything is great for, like, every market, and so but anyways, yeah, so I think it's interesting. I know they've gotten a lot of my money, not 100% chiropractic, specifically, but, chiropractors in general. Cool. Well, if you guys want to see if this franchise is available or what franchises are available in your area, you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. And then you'll be able to see what is available in your area. I also drop the link for our franchise of buyers academy. Last but not least, so I sat down with this guy Neil, pretty cool. He's actually been featured by a few huge YouTube channels. He's got a video that's got like hundreds of thousands of views. So he's a franchisor. He built a cleaning franchise called Made This. Yeah, Made This, which is pretty clever. So, anyways, we did a podcast episode on just how we talked a lot less about his business and more about how he just went out there and did it and his mindset and just how hard it is to actually go out there and start something on your own, given he started a franchise brand from scratch, and just how many advantages there can be to being a franchisee. Obviously, there's pros and cons, but it was a cool episode, fun to do. Neil's like real easy to talk to, just a like real kind of easygoing guy overall. So you should check it out. You can find it at the Franchise Empire Show YouTube channel or anywhere that you consume podcasts. You can just look up the Franchise Empire Show. So that said, Anything else, Mr. Kevin?
I would just say, yeah, if you're kind of on the fence about franchising or just getting started, to definitely do the Franchise Buyers Academy. People that have, as you know, Tarek, we've talked about this, like people that have gone through that and then meet with me for the first time tend to be much more educated and understand like what's to come ahead than people who have not. I think just like opening their minds to different types of opportunities the way you do in the FBA course, like, talking about earnings potentials and certain types of franchises, not specific ones. I think it just helps like set the stage of us working with them. So yeah, encourage you to sign up for it.
Yes, do it. It's a whopping $27. The amount of value is insane for the for the price point.
Yep.
In my opinion. Kevin's famous phrase, in my opinion. All right, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Peace out.